And welcome to Positive Talk Radio, everybody. My name is Kevin McDonald. And Rochelle is right there. That's her. That's the one. She's on fire where she's at, aren't you?
A little bit. That's literal. As beautiful as my background is, if you're watching this, not so great right now. But on any other note, we are ending our day with one of the most amazing, truly spectacular people that have become a part of our family behind the scenes, Nora Smythe. Kevin, I cannot even tell you how excited for this I am. And I don't know if people are going to be able to wrap their minds around how old she truly is because it blew us away. But she created Join the Constellation. And I've never heard of something that is put in any way like this.
I haven't either. And if you go to her website, it's going to take you a while to get through it because she's got a lot of stuff there. And it's all designed to help humanity heal and specifically to help clinicians and also women who have faced domestic violence and troubles get through it so that they can live the life that the universe intended them to live. And she is dynamic in her presentation, and we're going to bring her on right now. There's a moment in every life when you decide to rise.
To stand taller than your fear.
To speak louder than your doubt.
To chase the vision that sets your soul on fire.
This is that moment. And here we walk it together with stories that awaken, voices that inspire,
and truths that set you free.
This is Positive Talk Radio with Kevin
and with Rochelle,
where hope has a voice.
And that voice is yours.
You know, I got to tell you, Rochelle, there are times when we interview people and we love to interview everybody, but there are times when we can honestly say that she's one of us, and she is one of us, and she is dynamic. And go ahead, Rochelle, you get to introduce her.
Oh, my Lord, Nora Smythe, how I feel having you here and talking about the things that you've learned in social work supervision coming from Minnesota, which is really cool as well. How are you today, sincerely?
I'm doing very well. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we are excited to have you because how did you, well, I guess the first thing I have to ask is, Join the Constellation. What exactly does that mean, and how'd you come up with it?
Yeah, okay, so I was trying to think of something that really allowed me to say what I wanted to say, which was that this was a space for everybody. And I love space. I've always loved space. I've grown up with my dad watching like Star Trek and Star Wars and whatnot. And my whole life, I've just been like in love with it. So that was a very natural fitting like direction for my mind to go, is to think celestial. Like my cat's name is Leo and I have Jupiter as the sister cat and whatnot. So yeah, Join the Constellation. I loved it because it made me think of like individual stars. Like Kevin, you're a star. Rochelle, you are a star. Like in your own individual but then together you create a collective brilliance with everybody else that shares the same like mission and path that you are on to just make the world a better place.
Oh, you are way too kind. But I want to space, the final frontier. And you've heard that before, huh?
Oh yeah.
Well, and I love the idea. I love the concept because space is ever expanding. It's the universe. It's big. And I don't know if you know this, but there's enough room for all of us.
Exactly. Yes.
And that makes it so cool. So congratulations for that, because we can all work together for the betterment of everybody. And I know that is a concept that some people in our country are having a little trouble with right now, but it's so true.
Yeah. You know what it boils down to is that I think of Nora is time. We are so controlled by time. So what is time to you? Did creating this change that?
Yeah. So My journey like started almost 2 decades ago with like my passion for this subject.
Wow.
And I think I spent like a good decade or more being like full force, putting everything I had at it and just getting the wind knocked out of me left and right because I really came into it very naively thinking that I could actually end domestic violence. Um, and of course, I wasn't able to accomplish that, but I really thought that I could. And so I think I burned myself out trying to actually do that. And I ended up having to step away from the work, um, or from the mission really. And then when I came back to it, when I finally was able to step back into it and I started like unintentionally letting just saying yes to things that came to my heart and started creating this like step by step, it just started unfolding. And I think I was able to create the time because like I didn't even want to eat. I didn't want to sleep. I didn't want to get up to go pee. Like everything was so annoying about like just brushing my teeth, taking out the like anything. Because I just want to create this. I just want to do this. So time flew, honestly, creating this.
I bet.
Well, a couple things. First of all, the day ain't over yet.
Still so much work to be done.
Yeah, but the day ain't over yet, and you are and this is a passion of yours. This is your life's work. It's very similar to what I do and what Rochelle is doing now because this is our passion and this is what we do. I do a lot of this all the time. I sleep it. I eat it. I don't pee it, but that's a story. but it is when you are following your heart and following your passion, and this is so instructive for everybody. Listen to what your heart is telling you because your heart is never wrong, and so follow your heart. Braveheart said it best when he said, "Your heart is free. Have the courage to follow it."
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing.
Yes. Definitely.
Hopefully try. Hey, is there a point to where you wrestled with understanding that even when your mind could or could not understand things and be okay with whatever it was, that your body was holding on to things and that was a whole different game, and not just thinking you're okay, but finding a space energetically that you genuinely felt like you were okay for just a little bit of time, like I mentioned, to start working through some of those things that are literally just so annoying because you have to live.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I think like even still to this day, even to this point, I'm still not able to hold space for this work in a very like client facing way or in a very direct way. Like I find that I kind of like choke on my words. I know what I want to say, I know what I feel, but I can't articulate it. But through the work that I've done with this website and with this business, I didn't have to do that. I could put it into writing. Like I put it on the back of the shirts and I was able to put it into words on the website. Um, and I'm very like, I hope through the website it comes through that like self-care is first and foremost, that there's no way I could sustain starting this or continuing to do it if I wasn't putting self-care first, which is why you'll see such a blending or a meshing of
Right.
both concepts kind of throughout. And also why I think I'm so excited to do the Global Voices, because it occurred to me like I don't have to speak the things. There's so many amazing people around the world who have that gift and like are able to say what it is that's in here and here. And so being able to create a space for them to do that is just like it just expands me and it fills me and it gives me the energy to do
Yeah.
it.
And by
Well,
the way, go ahead, Rochelle.
Kevin, I was just going to say, because you are one person who taught me it's not just about taking care of yourself, but enjoying getting to take care of yourself. And that kind of flipped a different switch for me as well.
And by the way, and I gotta say this, that you are tremendously gifted, even though you don't necessarily know that you're tremendously gifted.
100%.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Rochelle.
And you've got and we love talking to people like you, because you've been doing this for 20 years. I don't know what you started when you were 5. So you've been, really doing a lot of good for people and putting this together. And I want you to do something that I was told a while back, and I want you to own it, because you've earned it. You are a special human being. And so own it.
Thank you, Kevin. That's like I feel like one of the most consistent feedback I've gotten throughout my life is that I need to work on my confidence. Yeah.
Well, and this will help. Doing this show and having this conversation with us will help you, because I want you to, after this is over, I want you to go back on YouTube. It's going to be live on YouTube, and go to Positive Talk Radio and watch it, and to see how important you are to what we do.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
Well, it's you don't have to thank me. It's true. And I never.
There's a purpose.
And it's 2 decades in the making. That's the same thing that I've been doing for 2 decades, and and sadly I'm not 25 anymore. But it's important, and you are important, because so many people face domestic violence. It is epidemic. And go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was just agreeing with you. It is epidemic. It definitely is an issue that unfortunately is not going anywhere. Hasn't gotten better since I became aware of it about 20 years ago. And yeah, it's definitely, one of the messages I want to give through my website and through the work that I do is that it's not like that person's issue or this group's issue or what, like it's not an isolated for this person or that person to think about or work at. It's really literally for every single human to take into account, to think about, and to consider. You can be a bystander and have no idea. You could be the most well-intentioned, whatever it is, like therapist, social worker, judge, like whatever it may be. And you think maybe that you're coming from a really good place, a really intentioned place, but you could be causing harm. There's just not enough education. There's not enough training. There's not enough funding. And I just don't think there's enough conversation happening about it. So I don't know. Yeah, that's why I'm like creating a training that I'm going to do. Obviously in Minnesota, I'm going to offer CEUs. 2 of them will take out your ethics, and 4 for cultural competence, so 6 total. And then I'm going to also, in honor of my daughter, do Savannah's Sanctuary. Savannah is my daughter. And Savannah's Sanctuary will be like a retreat style that I'll offer for this workshop, because again, I want to really incorporate that, like live and practice what I preach around the self-care. So I hope people do take advantage of that. And then beyond just that, like teaching and education piece, I'm actually wearing one of the flirt shirts. You can't really maybe see it too well. This one is the femicide one. And so on the back, there's like a whole love letter to self that speaks to femicide and the statistics around that. And we've got a flirt shirt that is really like speaking to women's history. And then we've got one that answers the question, why doesn't she just leave? And then I made up a word, re-sovereigned, because I just felt like healing was not powerful enough to describe what happens when you overcome narcissistic abuse and you really like capture back soul authority, is how I think of it, of your mind again, and you kind of crown yourself. And so I have a Resovereigned Flirt shirt. And flirt is an acronym. It does stand for something. So it's fierce autonomy, liberated worth, intentional presence, radical healing, and truth reclaimed. So they all say that on the front, and then underneath it does say love letter to self, but you can only see the love letter to self when you look in the mirror, because it's really meant to be like a reminder to yourself to speak kind words to yourself.
Oh well, you did
Said
it. You said it. So now you said it. So now we gotta play it. And watch this, Nora, and everybody else, by the way. And then I've got a statement to make when we come back. Here's another point to ponder by Positive Talk Radio. A woman spent years hating the reflection in her mirror. One day, she whispered, "I am enough." Day by day, her reflection became her friend. Self-love begins with the words you tell yourself. Speak gently, because you are listening. This is brought to you by Positive Talk Radio, where stories of hope come alive.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you like that one?
I love that. Yeah. No, I mean, when you're going through a situation like that, part of what is so destructive and damaging about it is that, like, little by little, death by 1,000 paper cuts, like, you lose yourself, right? Like, you're constantly having somebody else gaslight you and tell you things that are just so damaging to your emotional well-being and your psyche. So yeah, and then you start saying the things to yourself in your own mind, right? And like, we know that what our brain focuses on, if you wake up and you have, I don't know what it is, like 80,000, 90,000 thoughts in a day, subconscious, right? But what you think about subconsciously, I mean, it goes in there and it wires. What wires together fires together. And then you wake up one day and you're literally neurochemically become a completely different human than before you entered into that situation. And so I'm really passionate about that message too, of like, nope, we gotta, neuroplasticity works the other way too. We can focus our thoughts and disrupt that negative thinking, and we can rewire to step back into a resovereigned place.
Yes.
Yes, owning ourselves again.
That is perfect. And by the way, you said a word that I'm unfamiliar with, the meaning of it, which is femicide. Is that what you said?
Okay, yeah. So that's just really, it's a word to describe like when women are killed or murdered due to like male violence or domestic violence.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. And Rochelle, I need to say this because you can't say it, and Nora can't say it because you're women. But me being a man, I can say this. If you are a man and you have a desire to hit somebody or to hurt somebody or to control somebody, that's not normal. That's not allowed. You need to, if you feel that way, go get the help you need, because you are wasting your life and you're hurting other people in the process. So if you feel those inclinations, number one, stop it. Number two, go get the help you need, because you do need help. There's no question about it. Rochelle, does that make sense?
100%. And I will speak on the other end of that for Nora and I, on the same end of a woman, because it plays itself both ways. And everybody deserves to have help, because it all comes down to you hurting yourself and you feeling unloved and unworthy. And that also is not okay. And Nora, I'm very, very curious. I have to know through what you've learned, there's so many things. And it just went out the window. So Kevin, you go first.
And well, go catch it. Go catch it.
Well, I started on another rant, and then I started thinking about other things. And then
I was gonna say maybe it'll come to you while I'm like interjecting this. But Kevin, when you were talking about like getting help, I was just gonna say, so when you purchase any kind of flirt advocacy items, whether it's the sweaters or I have a flirt mug and candles, and I have like a femicide remembrance temporary tattoo.
Oh,
Wait,
cool.
there it is. So it's a
Oh.
black rose with blood coming through it. You probably can't see it too well here, but any of those items that you purchase, they all proceeds will go to Domestic Abuse Project here in Minnesota. So that's kind of my local effort, whereas the Global Voices is my global effort for education, engagement, and awareness. But Domestic Abuse Project actually does have a program where they do support men. So like if men choose to, or they are court ordered to, or whatever it may be, that brings them to the program. They do actually believe at Domestic Abuse Project that that is something that can be unlearned, that you really actually can get help. Obviously, you have to like own up to it, right? You have to get there and understand the harm you've caused, etc., and do the work. It's not easy, but I just wanted to highlight that when Kevin says like stop and get help, like actually there is help out there and there are
And
programs out there.
where can people find this, Nora?
Oh gosh, Domestic Abuse Project is in Minneapolis. If you just like typed in Domestic Abuse Project Minneapolis online, you'd be able to find it. I'm sorry to say, like at this time currently, I'm actually not familiar with outside of my local area that I'm in, but I would hope that there are similar programs that DAP is what they call themselves for short, is offering in other states as well. I really hope. I'm going to be so sad if I find out that's not the case.
Well, we need to make sure it's in every state, right, Kevin?
Oh, I'm sure. And if you have doubt of that, go to AI, your whatever you use, and say domestic violence help for men, and your state, and it'll pop up, and then you call that number, and they will help you.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I remembered, we kind of were touching on that really kind of gets missed a little bit, I think, Nora, is how much the person going through the domestic violence makes it seem so small. In a lot of cases, even me, it was like, well, it's not that big of a deal. Or you'll even see that some women will be like, oh yeah, well, it was my fault, or I did this, or they'll try to make some sort of excuse or make it sound like, well, it's all right, and justify it. But
yeah, sometimes
you hear about some of these things and it makes your stomach flip inside out, and you wonder to yourself, how do you think that any of this is okay? So how
it's
to involve
so
that?
interesting. Okay, so like when you were saying that, what was coming up for me was honestly just like even in my own experience. So I would have been like around 21, 22, that age-ish, give or take. And I had no idea at that time. I must have heard of it before, but it wasn't like downloaded into my head. It wasn't a thing that I thought about. Like, I didn't have language for it. I knew nothing about it. And so at that time in my life, I can look back on it now and say, like, oh, that's what that was. But I didn't call it that while I was going through it. Right. Like, I just knew I didn't feel safe. I knew I was unhappy. Honestly, like I was suicidal at the time. I was that deeply unhappy.
Yeah.
I was calling the police frequently. I was having many help-seeking behaviors. I was going through it, but I never said to myself, oh, I'm going through domestic violence, or that's what this is. And in fact, the reality is like at the time, I was in love with this person, right? Like I really cared about them, and my self-esteem, I think, was just in a place where it's like exactly like you said, I was minimizing it, I was downplaying it, I was wondering if like, well, maybe like I caused it, or this is all I'm worth, or right? Like you do say things like that to yourself. And so, yeah, it's a range of emotions that you go through, and everybody's story is so unique and individual. I can only speak to mine. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
and that's part of the reason why I want to create a space for more people to be able to share their unique experiences and stories. But yeah, that piece about like that's such a common question that, well, why doesn't she just leave, right? Or I can understand
Mm,
why people will ask that. Honestly, I do, because it can seem so clear and obvious from the outside.
yeah.
But when you're in the cycle of it, that's what it is. It's a cycle. You're not starting out with it being terrible, right? You
Yep.
actually start out with it being wonderful. And they love bomb you.
Yeah.
And then it slowly kind of creeps in to being like an outburst of some kind or a rupture of some kind. But then they circle back in this cycle and they, oh, I'm never going to do it again. And they know you well enough to know exactly what to say specifically to you to make you either think it was your fault or that it will never happen again or whatever it is to keep you kind of
Mhm.
sucked into the cycle. And next thing you know, you wake up one day and you have been isolated from family, friends. Who knows if there's economic abuse happening, if they messed with your job, like there could be kids involved. Man, and when pregnancies happen, which is what happened in my case, I didn't know at the time, but I know now looking back on it, that's actually when if it hadn't been violent before, it hadn't been physical before, it can get a lot more dangerous at the onset of a pregnancy. Also, when you try to actually leave the relationship or you have left the relationship, that post separation abuse or in that attempt to leave, because it's all about power and control, right? So the minute you start gaining that back and kind of like loosening the grip, they come in
Yep.
a little stronger. So
Well, somebody once, Kevin, related it to addiction
yes.
because we know how to handle it, we know how to relate it, and it tells us and makes us feel everything we are literally asking for. And it's hard to break. You can be addicted to people too. And
Yes. Anything.
this is kind of a scary thing.
Well, and you'll have to forgive me because I do because Nora and Brachelle, we've talked to a lot of women who have suffered abuse and narcissistic abuse and all of that. We don't address the issue that is at large, which is the men, because I've been around for 68 years. I've had 15 or so relationships. They've all broken up with me at one point. I have never hit a woman in my entire life. It is not even something that I would consider. Even if she hit me, it's not like we would get into. And I tell you, when I was in high school, I played violently. I played football. I was very good at it. I was a catcher. If somebody tried to score on me and I had the ball, they were going to lose badly. And I was a boxer, and so I know what physical contact is, and I can inflict. At that time, not anymore. Darn it! But at that
You're
time.
strong.
Yeah, you are. You look very strong.
Yeah. So anyway.
I could inflict a lot of damage on somebody, but it never even dawned on me that hitting a woman or even emotional abuse or financial abuse or any of that never even crossed my mind. So it's
Well, and
not. Go
yeah,
ahead.
and Kevin, and that's what it is really, is because you're not coming from a mentality of how can I power and control over this person? Like you, I would assume when you are in a relationship are in it with the mentality of, hey, I have my values, wants, likes, needs. They have their values, wants, likes, needs. We are two separate individuals and we are coming together as a third entity in a partnership. And that you thought about how could you have your boundaries met while also having theirs met, not at your expense, but figuring out, like, you likely came from that mentality of how do I hold us both up in this third entity. But when there's a power and control dynamic, that's not there. You're not dealing with somebody who's thinking to themselves, hey, this is a separate person from me who has like worth and value. And if we're not compatible, that's not good, bad, right, or wrong. We can like go our separate ways in peace. They think to themselves like, how can I use this person at their expense, if it may be, to gain and to have power and control and uplift my values, wants, likes, needs in life. That's why when people talk about like in therapy or whatever it may be to do like couples counseling, or when like police respond, like just go cool off, or there's this idea of like it takes two to tango, or it's a high conflict divorce, or I don't know, like refer to it in that way. It drives me crazy because it's like, yes, this makes sense only though when you are talking about two individuals that actually ultimately have the other person's best interest at heart, and that they can trust each other to take care of themselves and each other, even if it means that they're not compatible. But that's not what we're talking about when we're talking about an intimate partner violence dynamic.
And you know what I figured out, if I figured out damn near anything, I think that a lot of times you'll see that the men who need and lacked love the most are the ones who feel like they've got to control that, because genuinely, some way and some psychological twist, they're actually trying to protect themselves too. And that's how they know to do it in some way. And Kevin, I would love to play self-compassion, because I've got a question that I'm gripping on my seat to be able to ask Nora, but I want her to see this first, if that's okay.
I can. There it is. Okay. Head here. What? Oh boy. Watch this, Nora. I think you'll like it. Why is it, do you suppose, that we are our own harshest critics, maintaining a standard for ourselves that we would never demand of a friend? We mistake self-criticism for discipline, but real growth requires a different environment, one of self-compassion. When we quiet the internal judge, we find the clarity and the energy we need to actually improve. True strength begins with the peace you make with yourself. Still growing. What do you think of that piece, Nora?
I love that. I love everything you guys do.
How sweet. Well, you know, what I realized, Kevin, a huge part that has played out in my life is when you lose the self-compassion and maybe don't realize it, you give it away so much, not only to the person who is playing their role, however it is, that is negative, but you get attached to their family and their animals and their this and their that and the smell of their clothes and all these little things that, like, it's not just the person that you actually even like. If you really think about it, you don't even like them, and you're terrified of them, and you really do want to get away, but it's not just them holding you, it's the comfortability of the environment they created that makes you feel a type of way. Do you know what I'm talking about, Nora?
Yeah, yes, it is so easy. I feel like even when we're not talking about like domestic violence, just really like in any relationship, right?
Yeah,
Like have that dynamic happen, and to get lost in that. And and that's I think another reason why this point that you're bringing up, I'm so stuck on. It has to be self-care first, and that has to be a part of the message or a part of the mission, because it does. It's so cheesy and corny, right? But like it starts with you, it starts in here. It
yeah,
really does. Like you have to
yeah.
fully be aware of who am I? And I think every single day you actually have to wake up and ask yourself that question, because maybe I like chocolate ice cream today and I want vanilla tomorrow, right? And that's a boundary. Any little value, want, like, need, no matter how small or big. And of course, our values will likely not fluctuate day to day so much, but the point being, like, you do have to get to know yourself every day and check in with yourself and love yourself enough to be able to say, like, hey, no matter how stuck I am on this person, place, job, home, whatever it may be in life, if you ever outgrow each other, if you ever become incompatible, is the best way I like to think of it, that you have to be able to cut your losses and walk away to be in your highest good. Because if you are not taking care of you and you are not thriving in that way, you have nothing, not really authentically, to give in any other relationship you have, let alone serving your community. So,
Do it with love.
exactly, you have to start there.
Well, and that is an issue for a lot of people. That the self-love, because like the mirror that we played says there, is that when I first met Michelle, I told her to go look in the mirror. And what did she see? She didn't want to go look in the mirror because she didn't feel comfortable looking in the mirror at that point. I think that's a really big deal for a lot of folks, is they don't even love their reflection, which, by the way, isn't what they really look like, because it's all backwards. But
Don't stress me out.
well, it's like I like to say, if you turn around and you now look at your butt in the mirror just to see what it looks like, it doesn't look that way to anybody else.
So
That's a lot of wasted time for a lot of girls, Kevin.
Well, I know, but and that will give them something to think about. That you mean that.
Because when you said it to me, it wasn't look in the mirror. You weren't asking about what I thought about my hair or my eyebrows, or which we've been through that. And you weren't asking really what I was seeing first. It was like, look, see in your eyes, who are you? And ooh, that was like what the actual am I doing right now? Because it was very uncomfortable. Did you experience that at any point, Nora?
oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it's
Maybe
a
a few times.
it is a daily practice for me to like reintroduce myself to myself. And I preach this or whatever, and I do try to practice it, but I am not immune to having those days, weeks, months. I've gone through years of my life, even, right, where I was not embodying true self-love and compassion. I will say I feel like now in my life, more so than ever, I've gotten closer to being able to do that more of the time, if that makes sense, and kind of catch it when I'm slipping and recenter again. But it's a practice, a daily practice.
Yeah.
Well, I think that it is a lot of intestinal fortitude in order for you to get past some of that, because a lot of that is programming that you have from your childhood, from the stories that people said about you or to talk to you, and none of it. And what everybody needs to recognize and understand is none of it's true. They're all just stories.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pay attention to the stories that do not serve you. Because they're wrong, and it doesn't matter. Metallica has a song. It's called "Nothing Else Matters." Forever trust in who you are, and nothing else matters. I don't know how they got so bright to even write that, but they did.
You know what I just realized, Kevin? Oh my God, it's like kind of what we do. Today is so cool because sometimes we have conversations that just bleed into each other beautifully. Wow, that was a weird thing to say. Anyway, Nora, I'm realizing, because it's loving yourself where you're at, however that is. It's not, okay, I'm going to love myself when I get to this point, or when I look like that, or when that happens, or this or that. It's like, you know what? Maybe I'm doing something, or maybe I am a certain way that I'm not really a fan of, but I'm going to be okay with that. And I'm just going to allow it to work its way through and learn through it, rather than try to suppress it or control it, or make you feel less than you really are, because I struggle with that literally every day.
Yes.
And but go ahead, Nora.
I was going to say, I don't remember where this is from, and I'm going to butcher this, but I know I have this little pocketbook that I read by Pema Chodron, and I believe that's where I got this from. And it's called Bodhicitta, I want to say is how it's pronounced.
Heard that before.
Have you? Okay. But yes, it's this concept or idea of what you're talking about, that there is within us all it's like it cannot be added to and it cannot be taken away from. It just is your internal infinite worth. And like, of course you can have things that you're like, oh, I want to lose weight, or I want to learn this language, or I have this goal to be learn the piano or whatever it is, right? Like you can have goals or things
Yeah.
about you. I abuse women and I don't want to do that anymore, right? Like anything at all that you want to start, stop, change, whatever it is. And but like as you
But
are
you love
whole
yourself.
as
Yeah.
you are, that you don't need to get to that point of ever actually learning that language or losing that weight or whatever it may be, whatever goal you have, that doesn't define your worthiness or your wholeness.
Yeah.
Those are just goals you have that you see potential and you want to strive for it because it hopefully brings you joy to do that. And if not, and you're struggling with perfectionism, then we have to have another conversation, right? But like,
Oh, damn. Yeah. Kevin, go ahead. I want to hear what you were thinking because you were so worked up.
Never mind, because I was so taken with what Nora was saying that I totally forgot it.
Okay.
Which is
It's a good listener.
yeah, but it will come up again at one point. But I just Nora, because you have got tons of ability. You're going to start a YouTube channel and you're going to be doing something special with that. Can we talk about that?
I would love to. Again, this is going to be my first video that I'm going to add to the channel officially to kind of set it off and kick it
Hold
off.
on.
We can't hear that.
Oh, you can't hear that? No, I was applauding.
Silence.
Hold on.
Moment of silence.
Hold on.
There we go.
This is really it. Genuinely, thank you seriously because the two of you and what you've created did sincerely give me the like guts and the inspiration to feel like it's something that I could do. And I've already connected with so many people from around the world who are just like, they're my heroes. Honestly, they are my heroes because I don't have to explain it to them, right? Like they already understand what it is that I was raging about for these past however many years of my life. And they've been in it doing the hard work. And in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think they've been doing it so much better than me. And I am just cannot wait to like learn from them. I cannot wait to give them a place to be able to say whatever it is that they want to say and put their message out there, whatever books they've written, poetry, whatever resources that they know of, whatever it is that their unique experience and understanding can add to that global conversation of education, awareness, and engagement in everybody. Like I hope that it serves that function. If like at worst case, I'm gonna be just so completely happy to meet these people and selfishly to learn from them. But yes, I do hope that it functions as creating a community and a space for learning, and I hope breaking stigma, maybe hope for people listeners. I don't know what it's going to grow into, but it's the thing I think I'm maybe the most excited about right now in my life.
Well, congratulations. And a couple things. First of all, I have to say you are eminently gifted to do that and to talk to people. You are engaging, you are smart, you are articulate. You can do all of these things. Don't shake your head at me, young lady. Don't
I have to come squeeze that out of you.
because you can do all these things. And
Yeah.
I want to say this about that. You've been doing this for 20 years. This is your mission in life. You've decided that this is what you're going to do. The universe is cooperating with you. It gave you the experiences that you need. You now built a killer website, which is called, Rochelle?
Yes, everybody, you better make sure you visit at one point or another. Join theconstellation.com. There is so much to take a look at. So share it with somebody as well and get involved because truly you're creating a community, Nora, and we love that. Right, Kevin?
Yep. And if you buy an article of clothing like the hoodie or any of those things, a portion of that goes to the charity there in Minnesota. It's
Yes.
Minnesota, right? Yeah.
It is Minnesota, yeah. And so $10 if you buy a sweater will go to Domestic Abuse Project, $5 from a candle, 2 from a mug, and 1 from the temporary tattoo. That's all in the Flirt Advocacy shop. And it also supports the YouTube channel, My Safe Space Global Voices, that I'm going to be doing. And then the shop, The Constellation, which is like more of the self-care items that I have, those are going to be a little bit more affordable just because they don't have that donation price like tacked into it. So if you're looking for self-care items as well, those are a little bit more affordable. And if you type in join 15 at checkout, you will get 15% off your first purchase.
Ooh. Kevin, I'm gonna go get me some stuff. How about you?
Oh, Kevin, you and Brichelle get a free code. I already sent you for something. Yeah.
I'm gonna be wearing it, and I will make sure to shout it out when I get it.
I'll be so excited to see what you pick out.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, ooh, what do we even have to choose from? So everybody make sure that you know, Nora, the best place to find this stuff is jointheconstellation.com, correct?
Yeah, just go to jointheconstellation.com. It's got a tab that'll have for supervision services that I offer and then for CEUs that I do. But if you're looking for like the self-care or the advocacy or global voices, there will be a tab for that as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Every time I hear Constellation, it makes me want to go space, frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. I could do that. They should hire me. Anyway,
Kevin, I always wanted, well, Grogu, of course, is the cutest thing on the entire earth, but Yoda, like, come on now. Imagine you just like wake up and there's a Yoda on your bed. Sometimes a transformation of yourself can kind of feel like you have this Yoda that's landed in your mind and in your energy field. So that's a cool way to think about it, actually. What do you think, Kevin?
I think that's a killer way to think about it, because you don't know what you don't know until you open your heart and open your mind. And, Nora, I got to tell you this, because I started this radio thing in 2003. And it was on KKNW 1150 AM in Seattle. And I didn't know if I would be any good at it. But the weirdest thing was when I let it be and let it relax and just let it flow, the most remarkable things would come out of my face.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And because it was not me. And Brichelle has experienced this today because I've been coaching her to not overthink it. Just let it be. And if you feel it, say it. If it's a question, that means that somebody else in your world or around the world is asking that question of that particular guest. And so don't hesitate and don't worry about it, unless it's inappropriate. But
my impulsive.
But no, Kevin, it's also speak your truth, which comes down to a level of self-trust. Nora, I'm not saying that I have leveled out on that one, but this idea of humility and being able to ask the questions and be curious and genuinely do it out of caring for people you already hold. And more than ever, I agree with Kevin, and I will say that you deserve so much to be able to finally just trust yourself and let it all kind of come to be, because sometimes you surprise yourself and then you're like, oh my gosh, who is that?
This past month has fully felt like that. And you guys coming into my life have really added to me feeling like that divine timing and like, why, how, this now, right? Like it just.
You said yes, it's your fault.
I will say, Kevin, when you were talking about and sharing that sentiment of like, let it flow and trust yourself, I just want to say too, like, I am here today right now having this conversation with you because of specifically who you guys are. can't explain it. I can't like articulate how or why it is like that for you, but there's something about your energy and something about the way that you make me feel when I'm with you that allows me to just kind of be more of a flow vibe. And that is not easy to do. People would probably, I don't know, maybe think of me as more like introverted, or I don't easily find myself able to say the things on my mind so readily. So thank you for just being who you are and creating this space, because this has been incredible.
Well, you are incredible, and I tell you, I would love to help you. We would love to help you in any way that we can,
Yeah.
because you're doing you're doing the universe's work. You're doing what the source has asked you to do. What I believe the contract that you signed before you were even born,
Yeah.
because of the experiences that you've had, and we're here to help you in any way that we can.
Of course. At any time. You know, Nora, because if you are so used to being able to experience all the worst and imagine it, why not be able to imagine all of the best things that could possibly happen? Because you're literally doing it. Do you realize
Just
that?
fully just gave me goosebumps.
It's not me. It's not me telling you. It's everything. Like if the universe trusts in you, you better trust in yourself. Or I'm gonna come up here. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just so excited that you are ready to just let it, because you don't even know how much people have to learn from you. Oh my God, Kevin and me were having a conversation. I don't remember which one of us said it to who, but it was like, why would you take away yourself from being able to be that experience for somebody else's healing and in their journey? Like if you think about it from that sense, like this is a gift for others just for you being and being able to speak from that place. What you're going to experience, I cannot wait to hear about. And Kevin, aren't you just excited, like as excited as me? Oh my God. Can
I
you tell
really
it's
am.
exciting?
And that cat is excited. That cat is saying, "I love you, Mom,"
No.
and yes,
Yeah.
and
This is
but
Leo.
I love
but
the black
hi,
cat.
Leo. But Nora, and I want to say this, and I want to say this from the bottom of my heart. It's because I've done, hell, I don't know, 3,000 interviews, somewhere between 3 and 4,000. It's never been about me. It isn't about me now. It is about what I can contribute to us. And so when you take that attitude, it's not about me,
Yeah.
and it's about what you can bring to the table, so that the person that you're talking to, you can get the most out of them for the information that they want to bring forth. Then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And you can be silly. You don't have to be perfect. Trust me, I haven't been perfect a day in my life. Ask my brother, ask my mom, all that. And
But you're
ask,
so serious.
and as per Shell, there have been days when I screw up and stuff, and aren't there,
We all
Michelle?
do. You know, it's this thing called humanity, damn it. And we're all just trying to figure it out. Why are we making it so difficult?
Right.
Kevin,
Right.
are you going to figure it out? You need to figure it out. And then you need to tell me and Nora so we know what to do.
No, that's the magical journey. Is you get to discover it for yourself.
Yes. Oh, I almost forgot. Nora, do you remember that? Do you forget sometimes too?
Oh my gosh, just following your joy. Why is that so hard to remember and do?
Yes, because
Go ahead.
and that can be okay. Like,
But
sometimes we have to have an answer for everything, right, Kevin?
yes, we do. And and the other thing that we do is that we sometimes don't even need anybody else to create stories for us.
That's
We
true.
we can create our own stories that devalue who we are, based upon what maybe somebody else said. Well, you know what? Screw them. Doesn't matter. Then you get to decide who you're going to be, how it's going to work for you, and I guarantee you, Nora, you will be a success at this with this YouTube channel. And we're so excited to be working with you on it.
Yeah, it's truly an honor. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your journey. Like, seriously.
It is a mutual feeling. I really do sense and know from the other shows that I've watched and heard you speaking just throughout all of the work that you've done. It just oozes out of both of you. And it is so clear that you are here for the purpose of creating a better world. And pick your poison, right? Whether it's domestic violence, homelessness, poverty, like the endless things, right, that we could go into that need work, all of the good hard work out there. But there's people like you that are getting up every day and facing it and putting out the light and embodying that. So yes, to be connected to that, to have that like energy coming at me is beautiful. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm so happy.
And you're helping create that. Kevin, as we close out, I really think it'd be wonderful if we could play the declaration, really just to wrap up our week and remind people that they can say, wait, I have control of me and my life. I get the power. I get the say. And then be able to move forward in that.
And thank you for that, Purcell, because this is my favorite piece, and this is really foundational to what I believe we can do together. And so let me play it, and then I want your opinion on it, Nora. For way too long, we've allowed shadows to dictate our steps. Our clamor of division, the whisper of fear, and the harsh grip of hate. They've tried to define us. But this is our moment of truth. We remember who we truly are, not just separate islands, but a vast ocean of shared humanity. We declare our independence from the narratives that have pulled us apart. We choose curiosity over judgment, empathy over indifference, understanding over accusation. This isn't about ignoring our differences. It's about celebrating the strength woven into our tapestry. It's about remembering that progress isn't built on exclusion, but on common ground. So let the banners of kindness fly high. Let the anthem of unity ring out. This is our declaration, our independence from what limits us, our freedom to truly connect. Because together we are stronger. And together, we are free. And this declaration is brought to you by Positive Talk Radio. Nora?
Yes, I love that. So, okay, my tagline for Join the Constellation is individual stars, collective brilliance, one constellation. And I feel like that really ties in and captures the essence of that clip that you just played. That idea of we're not all the same. We are our own unique individuals, but it is our individual brilliance that comes together in a collective. That's what it's all about.
Would you say that again? That was brilliant.
Oh, okay, sure. Yes. So it's individual stars, collective brilliance, one constellation.
What do you think, Michelle?
I don't think there's anything better. And everybody, you can find out more about what exactly that is and how to embody that, because you can trust in yourself enough to be able to do that by joining theconstellation.com is where you can go to find out everything. Nora, as we close out, please do tell us anywhere else people can follow along with this work. And if they want to reach out to you or get involved, how do they do that?
Yeah, I would really say, honestly, just going to www.jointheconstellation.com is going to be the best way. If you scroll down to the footer of the website, there will be little links that will connect you to a Facebook and a Pinterest and a LinkedIn and whatnot. I've never done social media before. I'm trying to build one now in an effort for all of this. So there's not much there to go and click into outside of the website, but it'll really be, I think, the YouTube channel is what I hope people kind of stay tuned for and periodically check back in for, so that they can see all the upcoming really cool interviews I'm sure that I'm going to be having. Um, yeah. And if you go on the website, you will see that my daughter and my cats are a huge inspiration, kind of all woven in there. They're part of how I designed the shirts and the items that I sell. My daughter is even, well, she's 16 and thinks that the things that I created are not cool. I'll just say it like that. And so I challenged her. I was like, well, then if you can do better, like, can you make your own stuff? So she has what is called the Savannah edit on there. So she has kind of her take of what I think she thinks her generation will resonate more with. And anything in the Savannah edit will also, proceeds do also go to helping support the YouTube channel and domestic abuse project as well. So yeah, I hope if you do check it out, that it's a space for you to just feel like you can find things that will help you to care for yourself, unwind and relax. There's kind of stories and descriptions as to how and why I picked the specific items I did and how I utilized them for self-care. But then also, yeah, if you're drawn to the advocacy piece of it, I hope that you find a place there as well, even if it's just viewing the YouTube or supporting financially the domestic abuse project here locally. And you can 100,000% reach out to me. You can call me. I have a business phone number on there, an email that you can reach out to me. I'd love to hear from anybody and everybody that has questions, that if they want to be on Global Voices, or they know somebody that they think would be a good fit for that, or they just have questions, or whatever it is. I'd love to connect with you.
Kevin, she's created all of this in such a short amount of time. Aren't you just blown away?
I am. And I got to tell you this, Nora, Rochelle was sick on Wednesday. She didn't feel well yesterday. And we started doing shows. This is the end of our third show today. So she's been on top of her game for 4 hours. And I just want to acknowledge the fact that you are a friggin' superstar.
You know, sometimes we find this little spark inside of us, and truly it's because I talk to people like you, Nora. I wouldn't rather be anywhere else doing anything else. This to me is self-care, right? Being able to talk and learn and understand and communicate just every day and show up as I am. Yeah, this is me. Sometimes I ain't 100%, but I am here and I am authentic. And that's really what we all can wake up with and give ourselves some damn credit for. Don't you think?
Heck yes. I love that I got to meet you, Rochelle. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. You know, we're going to have a really long journey together, so we got to enjoy it. This one crazy dude, his name is Kevin. Don't tell him I told you. But he believes that you're supposed to enjoy the journey. And it's not just about what you learn, but what you experience. It really does matter in so many ways. I can't believe I just said that. You tell me when I'm mad. But
but I do have to say this. If you are experiencing less than a great time and it's due to the actions of somebody else, get the help that you need.
yes.
Yeah, definitely. You are 100,000,000% not alone, even though it can feel like that. And just wherever you are at on that journey, know that you are worthy. You are whole. This does not define you. You are not alone. And your path out of it doesn't need to look like anybody else's, and you don't have to do it alone.
No.
I wish I could just like scoop up everybody under my arms and like physically be with them. But energetically, that's what I'm gonna say is like, I am with you. I see you, and I love you.
Thank you for being you, Nora. I genuinely don't even understand that I didn't understand how much meeting a person could change your life just to be heard. And you provide that for so many people. So thank you.
And I want to say this on behalf of the gospel according to Yoda. You will. You will.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What does he say? There is no try, only do. Or what?
Yeah.
What does he say?
Yeah. There, do or do not. There is no try.
There you go. Yes.
And you are going to do because it is your mission. It's your life contract. Thank you. We've been here for over an hour. It's time for Rochelle to go have dinner and stuff. Nora, I want to thank you again. And Rochelle, her website.
Thank
more
you
time.
so much, Nora. And hey, Leo. Oh my gosh, I will forever remember your little cat. Join the Constellation is how you can search for it on anything. But jointheconstellation.com. She's made it very simple for you to find out what you need and find it under the tabs available. And please, everybody, go and support a little bit. And Kevin, I don't know about you, but it's been quite the week. So I'm going to leave Nora with some of the last words. Anything you'd like to share with our audience as we leave through this week?
I think I want to reinforce again, like self-care comes first, self-love comes first, and whatever you do today, after this show, I hope you ask yourself that question: what would somebody that loves themselves do? And really, really take a moment, honestly, to sit with yourself and ask yourself, what do I want right now? And then give that to yourself.
I absolutely love that. Make sure it's something healthy. Kevin, I cannot wait until we have Nora back. I am going to be very patient to find out where she has come next time we talk to her.
And by the way, Nora, it's a requirement. You don't have a choice. You are coming back.
I would be so thrilled. And hopefully maybe my daughter, she had to go to work today. I'm not sure, like we weren't able to have her on today, but if in the future, maybe would love to have her join us.
And tell her it's just a itty bitty thing. We're only in 180 countries around the world.
Not that big of a deal. It's not everybody all at once.
No.
Take it easy, people, and don't take life so seriously. Just let yourself breathe. Give yourself a few hours and see what comes to mind, what plays out, and what flows. Once you give yourself love, the way you can love other people is undeniably the way that we're designed.
Well said, and that's where we end it. Thank you for being part of Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald, where stories inspire and voices remind us of what truly matters. May today's conversation give you hope, courage, and a reason to keep moving forward. And just remember, till next time, be kind to one another because each other's all we've got.